Hi everyone, I'm Emily Sinclair and I am standing in front of a 1927 California bungalow in Frogtown that absolutely broke the internet this summer. The market went crazy for it. It's not even 1,000 square feet inside, but it got 18 offers, and I'm going to tell you why. Feast your eyes on the quaintness, the cuteness. Can you stand it? This is a 2-bedroom, 1 bath in the main house, California bungalow, and it is so quaint. I mean, these owners just put oodles of charm, okay? The house numbers, yeah, that's not original. They did that. That's beautiful. The sconce there, the outdoor light fixture, yep, that's not original either, but they did so much to imbue character back into this property. So many thoughtful details. This home, I mean, we had absolutely packed open houses. The open houses were lit, as they say. I don't know about you, but I swoon over the color scheme here. I love this blue door. Oh, I love the fact that the porch here is painted. It looks so pretty. I love the fact that they kept this porch. Oh my gosh, look at this porch moment. Look at this porch moment, folks. So many people just want to go white, black, red, gray, but these sellers decided to paint their door blue, which just feels warm and welcoming. And you know what I really appreciate? I gotta say, these are not little tiny shrubs. You know, a lot of times when you go and you look at a home, you're gonna see little tiny shrubs. These are mature. These are mature plants. We have the asparagus fern, we have the rosemary, we have the agave, and succulents, and it's all drought tolerant. So it's gonna save your pocketbook that money, and you're not gonna be spending a ton of water on your landscaping. All right, let's go inside and I will show you around. All right, enter in this absolutely sweet California bungalow living room. This is very classic. You would not normally have a proper foyer, so you just enter straight into the room. And what just immediately sparks my eye, of course, is this fireplace. The fireplace has a it has a hearth around it, which it appears to be tile or brick that was painted black at some point, but very well maintained, beautifully maintained. I mean, immaculate. Look at that, absolutely spotless. And you can see at some point, semi-recently, they installed a damper, which is very important. So that there's just these wonderful little cues that tell you throughout the property that this home has been very well maintained and thoughtfully updated. I also want to point out this sconce. Oh, this sconce kills me. Can I tell you? Just the fact that it has that sort of frilly metal skirt as its hardware. It is so dainty and yet also has a classic California bungalow feel to it. I almost kind of wish it was like a gaslight, but you know, probably not efficient that way. And then look, you do have to hand turn it on and off, but I'm not mad at that at all. I just think it's part of the charm. And of course, flanking the sconce are the beautiful original windows. They are single pane, yes, it's true. Probably not the world's most efficient, but you know, they are beautiful. It's very, very hard to find something like this now with that character. And you have another one here too. It just creates a picture. It literally frames the outdoors for you. So when you're looking outside, it looks almost like a work of art. It's fantastic. See, and you've got the hinges have been replaced at some point, and so they're operational. So many times I see people paint over the hinges. Why? It's just terrible, but that would make them ineffective. So these ones have been restored. Now, another detail I want to draw your eye to are this coved ceiling. It is so beautiful. Clearly, you're not going to find this in modern construction. Very, very hard to find. What I love is sort of the look of the hand brush strokes on the plaster texture there. The home, homes like this were built with lath and plaster, so you've got the wood and you've got the plaster, sort of mudding, if you will, that is put on top, and I just love being able to see the brush strokes. Yeah, it's really grand. I mean, these are the sort of details that people swoon over. Okay, and I want to call your attention to this this threshold into the kitchen. The beautiful arch here, the arched edges are so lovely and smooth, absolutely smooth. They do appear to be original. It's so hard to find that. Sometimes when people try to replicate that these days, they will do an arc, like there's like a hard notch on the edge. That's not what we have here. These look, they look period correct, and I love that. And it is like a window that draws you into this kitchen that has also been restored. It's not original, but boy, does it look like it could be, just from all the smart details, the frame and panel cabinetry, the beautiful apron, sink, the butcher block countertops, and also with the tile flanking. Thoughtful, smart choices. And then everything is just so immaculate. I mean, I feel like I've stepped back in time. I've gone back in time 100 years to this super sweet, quaint home, and she's ready for her next 100 years. Okay, so now there's another archway going into the hallway, and I love me some linen cabinets. Yes, I love storage. I love having drawers. I love being able to put towels and just having storage space, for all of your unmentionables. Okay, so here's the first front bedroom. Again, beautiful windows. I love that you can see more texture on the ceiling and the walls. This room is just bathed in light. You can't wake up in a bad mood in this room, right? You can't. It's just happy. And the AC is keeping it really cool. And then I love this light fixture up here. It feels very schoolhouse with the milk glass. I don't believe it is original to the house, but that's okay because it feels period correct. And yeah, it's just bathing the room in this happy, warm light. And now let's go down the hall to the back bedroom. I want to point out the crystal knob on the door. Yes, how sweet is this? And if you try to buy something like that these days, it just doesn't look right. This is sweet, and it's sturdy too. Sometimes they're not as sturdy. This is a great doorknob. Here's another detail I really love. This French door was added. It is not original, but boy, does it look like it is, and it could have been. And that was all done so you could have more light, you could have direct access to your incredible backyard. It just creates another exit point. And of course, you can have airflow. All right, so let's enter the bathroom that is in between both bedrooms very conveniently. She is so cute, and again, she really looks like this is how she was built. But I'm going to tell you that's not true. That lovely black and white mosaic tile that was put in. I really love that it's black grout because no one likes to see irregular patterns in the grout. So it just has this seamless look to it. It looks very fresh and new. So the pedestal sink here also looks like it could have been original, but I saw from previous listing photos it isn't, but lovely, perfect character choice. The tub is cast iron. It's so nice to take a bath and get into a tub that isn't fiberglass. I cannot state that enough. I love a nice solid tub. I love that the original little shelf is there for you to put your soap and your razor and whatnot. And the little soap dish, look at the sweet little soap dish that is there. Who knows if that was originally there. It probably is vintage though, because hard to find those these days. And this is just a wonderful, light, bright shower that truly is evocative of the era of 1927 when they were building these sweet little character homes. And it is a perfect vintage bathroom. All right, let's go out to what everyone was just swooning over, this backyard. This backyard is incredible because we're talking about 3 structures on this property. We have the main house, we have the casita to the right, and then we have that adorable garage that's actually very long. It's sort of an extra long garage, probably built to house a Model T way back in the day. Back when this home was built in 1927, it used to have a very small little porch. It was not a patio. It was really just a landing. And so this second door, this beautiful French door, was installed to create that access to the outdoors, the deck. You know, imagine being inside your bedroom and being able to look out at this. That bougainvillea, killing me softly, that bougainvillea. And now let's go over here to my favorite little garage ever. This garage that's perfect for a Model T. And you got the hardware there. How cute is this? Now, it has been, you know, there's been some modifications to this over the years. There's currently a pretty high lip, so you would need to, you basically need to level it so that you can drive a vehicle in. But yeah, this is a really nice sized garage, and you have the added sliding glass doors there to bring in light. I mean, the whole indoor-outdoor experience here is completely off the hook. And then over to the right, we come to the casita. Okay, I'm obsessed with the story and the look of this incredible cactus here. I believe it's a euphorbia. I know it was a very small plant. The owners planted it, and look at how mighty and gracious it's become. I mean, it's gotta be 12 feet high. And it just creates that architectural interest right outside of the casita. This is technically a bonus structure. Here we are. Lovely, cool to the touch saltillo tile on the floor. And then we have the tongue and groove wood siding on the wall. I love this giant sliding glass door, letting all the light and air in. And this is such a functional bonus space here. You know, you can call it a studio, and you can make it so many things. This could be where guests stay. This could be your work from home situation. And then what makes this a great guest space is you've got this little kitchenette here that's very functional. And I love this concrete countertop. It has that beautiful texture to it, but it's also durable, and you don't have to worry about being too precious with it. What makes this a truly functional guest space or work from home bonus space in the casita is this 3/4 bathroom. This shower enclosure is very generous. There's a lot of space, and what I love about it is the cobalt blue tile on the floor is so pretty, very rich. And then of course you've got this rain head shower. That's got to feel so good after a long day to come in here and rinse off, cool off. Love the tile, subway tile pattern, and then the pencil liner. Just all these little details are so great. Love this little 3/4 bath. And then the rest of the property here, we have the extra long garage, which is so functional. And then as we head back over these beach pebbles, we have this outdoor space here that is just, there's so much you could do. There's just so much potential. I mean, if you wanted to, you could use it as a fire pit as it's staged right now, you know, but you could even put like cornhole back here, you know. This fire pit area is a great spot to have your friends over and enjoy the evening with a glass of your favorite libation. And then this area over here is awesome because dining al fresco in Southern California is an absolute must. If you're not taking advantage of warm summer nights, having lunch with your friends and family on a back patio, then you're just not living. You're not enjoying SoCal. And so this area is perfect for that. Frankly though, I actually see even more use here. I wanna know, in the comments below, let me know, what would you do with this space here? So this is actually the neighbor's ADU. They built it. It is technically theirs, but if you were to, you know, chat with them and get approval and they say, yeah, go ahead and paint it or do something to it, what would you do? I know what I would do. I would paint. I would actually hire a muralist company and have them come in and create a beautiful mural there that just becomes this enormous piece of art at the back of the property. You know, maybe it would be, you know, the possibilities are endless, but maybe you could do like a rainbow, or, you know, maybe you're doing the Hyperion Bridge. If, you know, if you're a Neela person and you love, you know, old sort of statement architecture like the Hyperion Bridge, that's lovely. I mean, you could do Griffith Observatory, right? You could do so many things. You could even make it look like a jungle. I would love to know what you would do. All right, we are walking down to the LA River. Now, we're talking 100 years ago. This river was free flowing, and then many years later, there was actually a flood. There was the Great Flood of, I think it was 1930, something like that. But they ended up filling in the river to control it with concrete so that obviously homes don't get flooded. And then that is when Western toads, not even frogs, but Western toads came in and they started swarming. They swarmed through the neighborhood because of the river and the wetlands, and it became a thing. It absolutely became a thing, and this neighborhood got the nickname Frogtown because of that. At least that's the main story. But so down there, and if you look, zoom in, there we go. See, look at that river. Beautiful. And this is the beautiful LA River bike path. And the fact that this home is mere steps to the bike path is such a huge value add. Buyers were really excited about being able to get on their bike and then go for a restorative, you know, bike ride. Also, what is great is if you really love to take the train, maybe you have to commute down to San Diego, you got the train right over there. How great is that? Amtrak. I have personally ridden the Amtrak down to San Diego, to downtown, to a variety of places, and it's a very comfortable ride. So that's another reason why buyers were very excited about this Gatewood home. So 18 offers on a sweet little bungalow in Frogtown. Why do you think that is? It's because this property offers flexibility. So if you own a property in Frogtown with multiple structures, the time is now to sell. Reach out if you're thinking about selling.